particular moment. If it was the other way around and it was Morgan Riley or it was William Nylander, it probably would have been them. But it just so happens that Mitch's deal's up. And like you say, it wasn't the whole idea of you're the one that's got to go. It's probably time to do something different.
Yes, and he is the one that's up.
It's not just about the player. It's about allocating money too. And maybe having two players at $6 million as opposed to one that makes 14 or wants 14. That's all it is. It's very simple stuff.
Well, and what you have now, because of the contracts that the Leafs have signed over the last few days, John Tavares on Friday, a 4-year deal at $14.3 million with deferred money, which is a huge, team-winning contract. Right now, John's going to be 35, right? We'll see what he is in 2 or 3 years, or maybe it's appropriate. I think that's important to point out. I think right now it's a great deal, and I credit Tavares. We talked about it extensively last week. We were yelling and screaming about it. I think it's in his best interest to do exactly what he did. Get out in front of it, sign the deal, make it look like it's all about the Leafs, team-friendly, spread the money out, and just kind of continue to be yourself and do your thing and fade into the background of significance and importance with the team, because a lot of it is based on how much money you make. Right. A lot of the analysis of the team is who's making the most money and what are the expectations of that guy. John is not going to be in a very different spot than what he was the last 7 years. But, in 2 or 3 years, maybe he is a $4.3 million player. Maybe he's a $3 million player. I don't know. The Nyes deal is more significant because it's a 6-year deal, $7.75 million. It's a good ticket. It's a lot of money for a guy that's played in the league for 2 years. But he wanted to stay. He didn't want the offer sheet stuff. He loves it here. He loves being with Matthews. And I don't think, he could have played hardball here. He could have played a tougher hand of poker than he did, from my perception. Man. And I appreciate that greatly, because I think it was long overdue. And I credit Brad Treliving first and foremost for saying, we want to be treated like the 31 other teams. There's no Toronto, boost because we're the Leafs and it's so crazy here and all that kind of stuff. And this is just 2 more examples, and I know I'm droning on here, 2 more examples of stuffing the players don't want to play here garbage in the locker, which is where it deserves to be, right? Because you're hearing that now with Mark. Well, players don't want to be here. Fans running people out of town? No. John Tavares and Matthew Nyes said, where can I sign, please? I'm dying to be a Maple Leaf. That's the reality. There are some players that love it, some players that don't, but there's no, this is too crazy, your fans are too crazy, or the pressure's too much, I can't be here. That's completely bogus.
I got a ton of respect for Matthew Nyes. We talked about it near the end of the season, or the idea, people were tossing out the ideas that the offer sheets, who the hell doesn't want to play in a great hockey city, play with Austin Matthews and be the first-line left winger? And it's not like he's making chump change. How long is the deal? That's a big number. 6 years?
6 at 7.7, right?
Yeah, 7.75. Yeah.
Yeah, 6
number.
at 7.75. Last time I checked, you're set for life after that. And then you could go with the King Daddy Topper after that one's over. Life's going to be great for you. And he could have said, let's just get some offer sheet on some team in some area. I don't care less what it would have been, and I'm just going to move to take the cash. How happy would you actually be? And I love that. Just like you said, Hayes, he wanted to be a Maple Leaf. He wanted to play with Austin Matthews, and he wanted to get it done. Yeah, I got a ton of respect for both of those contracts. As far as the Tavares contract, I do like the idea that he said, look, man, I just want to play here. Let's make something happen. So it's great he's in the fold. But I just have to ask this, I hope this is the last time that I have to discuss the John Tavares. It's great he's in the fold, but I want to know, in a Game 5, Game 4, 5, 6, and 7, how are you going to win a playoff series with him on your roster? That's what I want to know. How is he going to be a main contributing positive factor?
Well,
it's great you got him at a number you wanted, but that's my next question. How are you going to win with him on your team?
Well, I think there is a different mix a little bit, and it depends on where he factors in.
He's still going to be one of the main guys, Jamie. It's not like he's going to be getting spot duty.
Well, that's I guess the $1 million question is, if the team looks a little different next year, because it's not going to look amazingly different, but you are going to have to allocate Mitch Marner's money to upgrading, or at least
they got money that they're kind of going to weaponize here, right? They got flexibility for the first time in a long time.
And the team is going to look different or feel a little bit different without Mitch Marner there. But it comes back to the comment that Hayes said at the start of the show, a lot of teams are keeping the players that they have and saying, you know what, maybe Florida was the outlier. Maybe Florida's just, hey, we don't run into Florida and we're a pretty damn good team. That's kind of what you're seeing the message throughout the league is everyone's dying to keep their own players because either
That is crazy.
honest to God.
Yeah,
you're
well,
seeing
that's
that.
what it sounds like. It like Winnipeg's trying to keep Ehlers, and I don't know about Vancouver and Besser, but we know Florida's trying to keep Marchand.
Well, it sounds like Demko's signing an extension.
Demko's
there
signing
too.
an extension there, but here's the thing about that question, and you're not wrong, but I think it has to apply to the other guys as well. Like, doesn't that have to? You got to ask Austin Matthews first.
Yeah.
Like, forget John Tavares. Austin hasn't won anything. Like, he hasn't.
I guess, Brian, you could start with that question right
Yeah.
there. Austin Matthews, you're going to be our captain, the man leading the charge, the man making $13 million. How are we going to win with you being our lead guy?
That's where it starts, the pecking order. John has to answer as well, and Nylander and Morgan Riley and all these guys.
Yeah, very fair.
It doesn't
Very
start
fair.
with John, and I think again with the contract being what it is, he's still an important piece, and he's got to outperform the number. That's the equation that's necessary in a hard cap system. All of your players, and the majority of them, have to outperform what their cap number is. So he can't play like a $4.3 million guy. You got to play like a $7 million guy. Then you got real value. But the $13.5 million guy's got to play like a $15 million guy in the biggest games. So it starts with Austin. I'm curious what Tree Living's going to do here. Like there does appear to be the connection to Brad Marchand, and they have money. They can throw out $8 million a year, maybe $9 million. That's a big price to pay a 37-year-old.
I'm not doing that at all. That is so desperate to want that and need. It's almost pathetic to need that in your locker room so bad. After all they've done over the years, we got to get Marlowe, we got to get Thornton, we got to get this guy, we got to get that guy. That intangible should already be in there with the money that's been allocated to the players in the past. To 37-year-old, 4 years times $8 or $9 million, I think that would be insane, man.
Well,
even if I love Brad Marchand,
I agree. But the one thing too is, they don't have to build their team tomorrow. They've got lots of time to do this.
Absolutely.
So it might be you hold on and you wait 10 games. You wait 20 games to see if you can keep flexibility to see if there's a team that thought they were good and then realized they weren't. And then you go, okay, we'll take your $8 or $9 million player off of your hands. And this is the one thing that these managers, there is going to be some overspending and some craziness that happens tomorrow. We obviously want that. We're going to be sitting there for 7 hours. But you can also go, we got a really good team here, and we might have some flexibility when a team decides to move away from player X, player Y.
Yeah.
Or maybe a team goes nuts tomorrow in free agency and goes, I got to dump a player. I need to dump a $7 million